I just need shields, bro. Yeah, we're not. It's about lady, bro.
What was the last team that won? Our last game?
Hello YouTube, I'm Santanah. Welcome back to Ultra Rumble, and today we'll be doing a tier list for the current characters after the patch of Todoroki and Kiroshima getting nerfed, which definitely is going to make some shifts in the meta from what I previously had thought. Okay, so I actually did a full Twitch playthrough of playing each character at least one time so I can have some experience when I'm grading these people. Alright, so we're going to start from the bottom. Probably going to go in the list provided unless I don't feel like it. Alright, so we're going to start with All Might. All Might is... he's good. I'm going to say because All Might has a lot of stuff going for him, considering this man has a getaway tool, a pickup tool. His R2 is very strong. His R1, very good. Only downside to his abilities is when you hit them, they pretty much get knocked upwards, and you kind of got to look around to see what happened to them. So, I mean, that's kind of the downside. Other than that, most of the attacks are armored. Low-key, he could be great, so I might put him back there later. So I'm going to leave him at A for now. Also, Bakugo. Bakugo, I'm also going to put in A. Because I feel like Bakugo has... I mean, his health is probably, like, the main issue for him. And also, aim assist is gone. So, for console players, that's going to struggle for us a little bit, too. Considering how Bakugo used to be. If you remember R2 Bakugo in Season 1, this man did crazy amount of damage, could lock onto you. And I'm pretty sure most of them didn't even know that they had a grenade and a little cartwheel attack, because all they had to do was push R2 back then. And they probably all climbed up to like ace rank just from pure damage using this guy. But after his nerf, he kind of calmed down a little bit, and I think he's a good character. You know, he's good to have on the team. Lots of damage, getaway tool. His only struggle is potential like hitting targets and I guess defense. All right, Kendo. This I need to make a tier for her. Hold on. Kendo. She get her own thing because I just don't know about her. She's weird. She's not bad. She's not good either, and I don't feel like she fits in a decent or needs improvement. She's just weird because I mean when she works, but when she doesn't, she don't. Her shield is the weirdest thing about her because like that's kind of her whole property, and a lot of times it don't be doing as intended. You know, I've seen Todoroki like slide his ice up under it. I've seen characters break it when they shouldn't be able to break it, and it's strange. And her clap, well, we're not getting into her clap. That thing got the hitbox of China and still be missing somebody who's face front. You know, that's wild. So we're gonna put Kendo in her own spot because she's not bad, but like she's not good, and she doesn't fit in these tiers, so she's in that Kendo spot. Yeah, she got her own spot. Kendo is weird. All right, Compress. I'm going to put Compress into B. He takes a lot of skill. I played him. I tried it. Like he can get a lot of value, but you have to be really good to play this character because you got a lot to manage. You need to manage where your target is when you hit it, because like it flings them in like a weird direction, and you kind of gotta track it. And plus your teammates also could get messed up in the mix because they could be trying to fight somebody. You just throw a rock right in their face. You know, that could screw them up. You know, so like you gotta micromanage a whole lot of stuff. But this new buff to Cementos actually makes him really good, because I would have probably had him in C like a couple days ago. He would have been in C. But this new buff makes it where he can literally stay in the air almost as long as he wants to. If he manages his time right, Cementos doesn't have to touch the ground.
This is a struggle, bro. I'll tell you that extra rock
You gotta break his shit, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm trying, okay? He's on red now. Where did he go?
Up top still. Oh, and he's got plus. Great.
He really don't. Unless Shigaraki's down there. I mean, even if Shigaraki is down there, Loki, he can just get it back and build him another tower. Like, so be it. So, Cementos, I give respect to the players who can play this guy, because Cementos is not easy. And honestly, look, more power to you if you can master this character. And I think he does have potential to be great. And people probably still got to learn him. But right now, I'm going to leave him at B because I feel like he's decent considering how much he has to kind of boil around with when, you know, just playing him. All right, so Dabi. Dabi is a weird one. I think he needs improvement. Dabi is not bad by any means, but there is a lot of other characters who can just outclass him at almost anything. I mean, Dabi kind of shines as far as, I don't know, somebody chasing you and putting traps on the ground. But his R2 is very easily avoidable. I mean, if you time your dodges, Dabi can't really touch you. I mean, he can put traps on the ground. You know, I guess he can make a nice little setup. But, like, if he needs to go on the offensive, what is he finna do? You know, if his R2s aren't hitting, what, is he gonna throw the little ring of fire? I mean, that only protects him in that little circle. So he's not too great in situations like that. And a lot of characters outclass him. So I think Dabi needs some, needs something. I'm not sure what it is, but Dabi needs something different. Compared to the others, he's not up there with them. You know, he ain't sitting at the table with them. All right, up next, Denki. This man has, when he got his buff to do 2 electric tackles, 2 little volt tackles, this man Denki is a menace. Even in season 1, he had potential to do it. He only had 1 electric charge and then pop you with the R2s and did crazy damage. But Denki's have been rising as in the last couple weeks. Dashing in, and then they hit you with... They have 2 options. They can either hit you with the R2 or do the electric shock, which can almost do just as much damage. Denki's actually just, like, really good. I don't know if he's S, but I don't know. Is he a S? I don't know. But he's a really good character. I think Denki is definitely someone not to sleep on. Like, if you see one, you get caught with that electric charge, you might be done for. I'm pretty sure there was times I was pretty close to full health. I got hit with the electric tackle. I couldn't move. I got hit with the volt shock. And that was it for me. And, you know, that's, look, barely any reaction time to it. So, yeah, I think Denki definitely he's a big threat. Up next, Deku. Deku is going into B because I feel like Deku he's kind of mid to me. I was like, he's fun. I'll give it, like, even with his new change, the Lion's Barrage dropkick is fun. But the thing is, it's not super, like, it's not like OP or anything. I mean, it looks flashy and cool, but, you know, it's regular damage. And even if we're talking about old Deku, the first version of it, it was okay. The damage is straight. But, like, the cooldowns for both his beta and gamma, terribly long. Extremely long. Like, if you don't hit those, Deku's probably dead. He's probably gonna die. I mean, his R2 is his saving grace, and that's probably why he's indecent. But I think Deku's just kind of like mid. I think he's for fun. He's the character used for fun. But yeah, I think Deku's just kind of mid in my opinion. Alright, so up next, Froppy. Her survivability. I'm gonna put her in great for her survivability. Froppy's survivability is amazing. Like, you will see her at the end of almost every team fight if you let her loose for too long. Her combo, her taunt combo, stupidly powerful, you know, if you let it go unchecked, and it's kind of hard to dodge. And on top of that, she has invisibility, which is pretty useful in last circle. And she has a revive. That revive is probably the clutchest thing about her. She has to just get in a small distance, pop him up, and they back up alive. And she just runs off and continues whatever she was doing. We're not even going to talk about what she can do in a certain environment. With this new map and everything being huge, you're not touching her because she's just going to be like moving back and forth and hopping up and down. And there's been plenty of times I've had to fight this chick in Mountain Zone. Do you know how much of a nightmare fighting Froppy in Mountain Zone is? She can go up, she can go down. Like, just trying to track her is crazy. Like, that small hitbox, certain characters like not even going to be able to touch her. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I'm going to keep her in great. If I had a tier for like not liking a character, he would be the prime subject for it. He just going up here. We already know why. This man literally doesn't have to do anything.
Look at my skill. R1. Run away. R1 again.
Where is that Froppy at?
R1.
His R1 does everything for him. The tracking for this thing, the damage. He doesn't get punished. Let's talk about how many trades this man win. Like, they had to actually make patch notes for Kendo for her shield specifically for this guy. Gave him patch notes of just lowering his HP. I did not think that was the right nerf that he needed. They could have kept the nerf and just reduced like the tracking of this man's kick, because it usually doesn't miss. And on top of that, the stupid damage, and low-key, he doesn't even have to be looking the right direction. Like, there's been times I've been fighting Ida, he's going the other direction, but hits the R1 and somehow spins back and hits me somehow. I don't know, if you're a new player and you just want to succeed in games, or at least make it halfway, just play this character. Just run, kick somebody, back up for a couple seconds, go back, kick him again, and rinse and repeat. He has a revive, he has speed. Those are just extras. I mean, even the R2 was crazy annoying, getting flipped in the air 3 times, and you can use some advanced tech by R2, then R2, and then go in with the kick with the third hit if you want to get fancy with it. But this man is still busted. It's not the nerf. I don't think that was the nerf that he needed, getting his HP reduced, but I guess it's a start. I don't even think I need to say too much more. Why is he down here in D? His R2, his booty. This man's little ball or whatever will slip past an enemy if they're too close to you, and your only offensive option pretty much is doing your square combo. Sure, you have the R1, but guess what? That R1 is not up to you. That is up to the enemy. The enemy, if they don't attack you while you're using it, you will send duck. And let's not mention any melee attacks are going to break through it anyway. Ida's kick, freaking anybody's square combo, Toga's R1, Ibara's R2. You know, so like, it's not up. That's terrible. And then his teleport. Do you know how many times I've canceled that? Because when you know he's about to use it, you just rush him, because he's going to get knocked out of it. It's going to go on cooldown, and he just made a smoke screen. That's it. Or in a ranked match, and you get a compress on your team, do you feel safe? Do any of y'all feel safe when a compress is on your team? No. Yeah, his R2 can get some good trucks and do high damage. You know who else can do high damage? All of these guys. All of these guys can do that, and probably better. What could be his redeeming factor? His triangle definitely isn't. Snatching them up and healing them at a very slow rate. Yeah, he could transport you across the map maybe, but how often does that happen? Like, you gotta have good communication, and on top of that, it could even hurt your teammate if he didn't want to get snatched up in the first place. So, it's not redeeming. So, you stand down here in booty tier. Alright, my mount lady. Mount thickness, where do I put you? I'm going to put you in A. You are good. The reason I say she isn't great, she did receive a big nerf as of the last patch. Her kicks don't do as much damage. Oh, no, she doesn't have as many anymore. It is now reduced from 3 from, I believe it used to be 6. So the little stun combo we used to do, we can't do it as easily anymore. And even times, I would just use the kick just to stop people from attacking me. I would use it like as a barrier, you know? Because you don't take damage while you're doing it. And those 6 stomps, you know, gave you the time to make a new decision, or, you know, whatever needs to happen. Especially if I knew a Froppy was coming after me, I would just keep doing the kick and know she would crash into me. But now we can't do that anymore. And I mean, but she's still really good. She can turn big. She's great in Final Circle. She's really good in her small form. Her thick form is, you know, as oppressive as ever. Especially if, you know, there's a whole group of people. But if they're all attacking you, that's a different story. You know, if everybody's attacking, you are a huge target. So that's why I can't really put her in great, because they're still like high damaging people. And then I found out even Toga can knock her out of this form if she hits her at the right time. But yeah, Mount Lady's still an amazing character. She's just not as strong as she used to be. I'm going to put her in B for decent for now. And I know people are probably going to be like, well, Saiken is the best Uraka in the world, you know, whatever. And it means he should be up here in S tier. But on average, how many Saikens are out there, right? You know, like super great Uraka players. She does have a pretty good kit, but her kit is weird. Considering, like, her R2, if it does run out, has a stupidly long cooldown. And when she can't move, yeah, it's the gravity circle. And what's the last ability? Yeah, okay, and the car, potentially. And if you don't have your car, if you don't have that Toyota on at level 9, yeah, she gonna struggle a bit, because they did even nerf the size of it. It's not as big anymore. They increased the size of her gravity circle, and, you know, took some space off the car. So that's kind of big on her. And she doesn't have a lot of health. Like, Uraka does not have a lot of health. She can easily get burnt down if she gets caught slipping. And if that R2 is gone, which you only get, I think, 3, that can mess you up. And let's not even mention like times where you hit the R2 and you don't go to where you're trying to attach to. That is huge and will kill you. Her triangle's okay. It's usually used for an escape or, you know, to be mobile, I guess. Nothing really too offensive. I mean, you can't give it to your teammates, but there's not so many situations where that is helpful. So I would say Uraka is decent. I mean, she's not bad. She's got definitely her high points. But like, there's a lot that could be against her, honestly. So I'm gonna leave her in B. All right, Shigaraki. I'm going to put him in good as well, because this man is very powerful on the ground, extremely powerful on the ground. He almost could. Nah, I can't put him in S, because his biggest weakness is getting on top of something. If you get on top of a building, or anybody's floating, if you're in the air at all, Shigaraki is not gonna be able to touch you. Like, he literally can't. Everything he has to be on the floor. But when he is on the floor, he is devastating, especially powered up all the way. His crater on the ground destroys. His choke slam useful. His R2 is able to stretch a very far distance. Very powerful. I mean, he's good. And everything else about him is pretty good. Even his triangle, being able to break buildings instantly, pretty significant. There's times where that's useful. Todoroki. He would have been up here in S a couple days ago. A couple days ago, he would have been up here. The reason is because his ice and R2 combo used to delete a person. If you got caught in his ice, which wasn't hard to do, because his ice was buggy, stupidly buggy. There was times where you would fall and get caught by the ice, fall down, and get put right back in it, and you just get instantly demolished, and you couldn't react to it. And on top of that, he has other options. This man can get across the map really fast if you wanted to with the ice. He's got the ice shield. His triangle, I mean, not that great, but it doesn't matter. Everything else makes up for it. His R2 was really strong. They did nerf his ice recently, so I think that might knock him back to A now. He's still good. He's just not as good as he was. I'll decide order at the end. I'll do orders at the end of where people belong in which tier. My love Toga up here easily. Boom. You can call it bias or whatever you want to call it, but all I gotta say is if you have anybody up here in your S, Toga could be them. It doesn't matter what point in the game. Just revived, have no levels, no nothing. But if she catches anybody in this list running around in Final Circle, she can be them, get all their levels, and do the damage she needs to, and turn back into herself. Like, base Toga is good on her own. Like, everything else is a bonus. That is a cherry on top. Toga's ability to chain or do the pinball with the R1 is amazing. That's probably like one of her best selling features. R2 is not as great since the aim assist nerf, because it's so much harder to land those now, at least in my personal experience. And even better, transform, the syringes that go out, that can be used as a DPS now. As of the new update, you transform with triangle now, so we can use the syringes as a DPS move, and they track. Toga has 2 tracking moves, almost to the level of Ida. But the only difference from her and Ida, she can get punished for it. Ida doesn't get punished for it. This man gets a slap on the wrist, gets back up, and goes back and starts kicking again. Toga gets punished for, you know, if she goes into a clash and loses. Like, she's taking heavy damage. Up next, Kiroshima. Kiroshima would have also been an S if it wasn't for the nerfs. Kiroshima was a tank. If I ever seen Kiroshima running around red, most of the characters that I was using would not phase him. Does not get slowed down by crowd control and damage reduction. And his attacks, his shoulder charge was just devastating. You got hit by that? And on top of that, he had the bread and butter combo. He just hop up in the air, slam you down once your iframe is done. And you could barely react to that. And if you get knocked, all he has to do is shoulder charge you 3 times, which he had 3. You were dead. That was it. Your teammate wasn't going to be able to stop him. I believe the nerf to him, his shoulder charge, was pretty significant because he kind of needed that. That's how he started out most of his combos. His R2 did get a buff to damage, but you know, that will never come to the glory of his powerful shoulder charge that he used to have. So we're going to put him at the top of A because he's still a really good player. Alright, up next is my Momo. She is either between A or B. And I think she might be at the top of B. And my reason for that is her shield got a heavy nerf this season. She can no longer run through Shigaraki's crater. She takes damage from the back now. And on top of that, like it can get broken. Like if she clashes like with an Ida per se with it, her shield breaks, which was so stupid to me. Why her shield breaks when they have a kick clash, and it was stupid. And it doesn't do as much as before. What came after that though, her confetti cannon is so much stronger now. Is super good. Momo is also not very fast, so you know if you're getting chased by one, you're probably gonna get it. You're most likely gonna get away because she can't do too much damage from distance. You know what? I'll put it at the bottom of A. The cannon is the saving grace because, like I said, she's not fast. Her R2 is okay. It's pretty good, but I struggle when using her. You know, I gotta smack them 3 times. And if you smack them while in the air, they automatically get an iframe, which so much can happen after, you know, iframe animation goes through. And if they run away, Momo is not catching them because she's slow. You know, she has no mobility, which sucks. And I really love this character. I play her a lot, but she's got some troubles, and that shield nerf was huge. So up next is another main of mine, which is Ibara. I'm gonna put Ibara in decent. Ibara is decent. She's got a res. Yeah, her beta is pretty good, especially if you level up really good. Gamma is okay too, if you manage to catch them, but I've actually found it a lot harder to snatch people in it as of recently. Weird because a lot of times I use her R2. I have times where you can see the animation of her hair touching the opponent, and it does no damage to them. You know, you're done for. Remember, because you got no mobility as an Ibara. So if you miss your R2 and somebody's right next to you, you're cooked. You are definitely cooked. You are out of there. You have no way to get out. Like, I have to get creative trying to escape with this girl, because it is rough. Because if I miss my R2, it is wraps for me. Saving grace, she has a lot of health, so you can make a few mistakes. She's still a good character. She's decent, so I'm gonna keep her in B. I love her, but she's in B. She's got a problem. All right, Izowa. Izowa is a tough one. In reality, Izowa counters this entire list. This man here is a counter to everybody in here. With the push of a button, turns all this off. Everything they do turns off. And cut them up. And look, he can even screw some people up across the... I mean, if they're in his sight, across the map, mess them up too. Not even knowing they're there. I'm gonna put him in good. I'm gonna put him in good, because he is a good character. You just have to put a lot of time into this guy. Because if you don't know how to use his abilities, this man's a sit-and duck. And this man can actually escape. His escape options are really good. Like, I've tried to chase a couple of these dudes down in some games, and he's tough to catch. If he's got his kick up and his R2 and he knows how to use them really well, you're not catching this guy. This dude is up and out of there, almost Froppy level escape abilities. Like, it's crazy. But the downside is the crazy high skill ceiling. But I think he's still good. I mean, a lot of them, surprisingly, I don't think make it to final circle, because when I do make it to finals, I don't see him that much. So up next is Endeavor. I probably have my least amount of time played on him. So I'm not really sure where I will put Endeavor. Mostly, I played him probably like twice. I actually had a good time playing him though. I had fun playing Endeavor. His abilities are pretty good. I'm just gonna judge this off of the ones that I fight. His R2 can be very pressuring if he's landing it, but with aim assist not being there anymore, he's gonna struggle hitting that R2. The flame attack, the little lance he throws, that's pretty good, but I don't think it's easy to land either. I think it's actually pretty tough to land. And his Gallic gun, the big flash, that is like the most dangerous thing he can do. Like, there are times I see him charging that thing up, I just run up and just smack him. You have so much time to go and smack him. And even when he does blast it, he can't move it very fast. Like, he might can tilt it to the left or to the right. I don't think he's going to get too much use out of that ability. So his escape options are decent. His attacks are kind of iffy, so I'm going to put him in decent. I'm going to leave him in decent. Okay, so of course, you know, Toga. She's up there. Who is better, Ida or Froppy? Ida is more oppressive. I think Ida's more oppressive than Froppy. Okay, so the best in A tier. I'm gonna leave Kiroshima up here. All Might definitely gonna be second. Baku, Denki. I think Baku goes better than Denki, mostly because the range. Denki could definitely kill you faster than Mount Lady, so I think maybe that'll earn him a spot ahead. Is Todoroki now better than Mount Lady? I would say no. I'm leaving him there. Shigaraki. I'm gonna leave him after Todoroki, and then Izowa, and then Momo. Deku, Uraka. Deku, get up here. Kendo, you're staying in your Kendo tier because you're freaking weird. Dabi needs a chain, needs some changes. I'm gonna leave him a C. Compress. If I could dig a hole and make a E tier, you'd be in there. I think I might throw All Might up there, actually.